And this is a very simple deception that's been going on for years, but I just want to point it out in this short audio. They won't spell these and connect them or separate them, not very often anyways, because people would catch on too quick. Apple iPhone. And you have to keep in mind, they initially do things, these deceptions, with initials. A for Apple, then iPhone. That's A-I. There's no way around that. That's how they do this. They gradually bring things in. Of course, you've had the Apple iPhone for a while. If you're someone that's looking into these things and want to expose it, you have to look initially, because you have to initially start these things, right? It's always in the initials. It doesn't just happen to be an apple with a bite out of it. That's too obvious. We know that's from the Bible. They bit the apple, the sin. Initially, when you look at things, use the initials. Okay? That's why it's Apple iPhone. The initials are AI. A for Apple, I for the iPhone. The 19, all of that, right? This even goes back to ET phone home. Okay? Even the word phone, if you break it up, you have P, hone, home, hone. They just have to get enough of a relationship between the pronunciations of these words to get people on board. P-H-O-N-E, phone. But the H-O-N-E in there, hone, okay, or H-O-M-E, it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be, and it isn't. Initially, this is how they do this. What do you do with your phone? You phone home or phone hone. They just have to get it close enough for it to sound like where they're heading, and it goes that direction with the masses. The AI thing has been pushed here for a very long time initially. Clearly on the Apple iPhone. Initially, again, Apple for A, and then the I is next. That's your AI. Phone. Now, in some countries where I've been, phone is pronounced way different. Even though the spelling may be the same or close. A lot of times I've seen it spelled F-O-N-E. Why? Because you could pronounce phone as phony. Okay, it's phony. It's artificial intelligence. The writing is literally on the wall. They have to let us know. It's part of this. And we are put here to gather wisdom. And the Lord does give that abundantly if we are seeking. I hope that was clear enough. Sometimes I wonder if these analogies, or even the way I try to get these things out there, if people understand. If you ever don't understand what I'm trying to say, please let me know in the comments. But for this discussion, you have to keep in mind they have to initially do something, which means they use the initials because it's initially being done. Again, Apple iPhone would be the initials of A for Apple, and then the letter I for I. It's AI. Phone. Now, there's a lot going on with the numbers and the words within phone. I'm not going to get into that right here. You know, phone. P is the 16th letter, right? Or 1-6. Okay, the 6 is being promoted. 1-6 there. That's why you have sweet 16, because the number 6 is being pronounced first. It has nothing to do with the teen part of it. It does, but it doesn't. Initially, they need us to say and want and do that party that most people had for their sweet 16. Again, energy gathering, brain Washington, DC is going on, has been forever. And I want to say something about carbon footprint. You know, Gates brags about having one of the largest carbon footprints on the earth. That is not about carbon emissions. Now, when you break down the word carbon footprint, it does break all the way down to the number 30, which is CO, carbon. They're not completely lying there, okay, but OC, CO. Carbon footprint is how many times someone's name is being pronounced on this earth. It gives them energy. He has a very large carbon footprint. The footprint is the people talking about him or know about him releasing energy to him, mostly through their speech. And when you release speech, you're releasing carbon and oxygen. CO, OC. All right. I will get into that on another video. If anyone's interested in that, let me know in the comments. But his carbon footprint is not, and does not have anything to do with emissions, not in the way that they portray. It's never topical. Now, for carbon footprint to equal 30, after you do the as above, so below number system that I showed that they have hidden from humanity, to equal 30, which is CO, that's, you know, ridiculous. There's no way that is coincidental. It's OC. You know, an O, a letter O is 15, and 1 and 5 is 6, and a C is 3. All right? You get your 666 out of it, or your 6 and a 6. And that's what they're doing. It's a marking system that collects energy through certain vibrations for certain individual shape-shifting garbage cans. And they're human cohorts that have agreed to take part of this evil system. If no one ever said their names again, like Chump or any kings or queens in the whole world, if no one ever mentioned their names again, they wouldn't exist, okay? These shape-shifting garbage cans can only exist through the energy that is sucked out of people to keep them alive. I'm going to stop here. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them. Iron sharpens iron.